Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the Sterling Brunch, I almost said. No, the Sterling Brunch at Bally's is unfortunately legendary Vegas history. This Sunday morning we are at Anthony's Steakhouse at the M Resort in Henderson, which costs $99 to the time of this video and comes closest to the legendary Sterling Brunch by far. And now I'll show you why. First of all, we were lucky to even get in. You can see the line and we had to wait a good 20 minutes. Therefore, I strongly recommend making a reservation in advance. If you still arrive late, like we did, the Asian-looking lady on the right will gladly put you on the waiting list. Since there was nothing else available, we gratefully sat at the bar. But let me finally show you every single item from the buffet. I'll start with the breakfast items. Can't be missing French toast at this edition here, sprinkled with some berries. Don't forget the syrup. Breakfast potatoes, always good with a selection of some vegetables. Here's the egg benedict topped with sauce hollandaise, but I had no capacity for things like this. Like also this wonderful looking applewood smoked bacon. The breakfast sausages looked great, but guys, I simply can't recommend the breakfast items at this brunch, nor a made-to-order omelette. Not because they weren't of excellent quality, but because you wouldn't have the capacity for the truly magnificent items I'm showing you in a second. Blue cheese, not this lifetime, means I'm not a fan. But the fruits were sweet, juicy and perfectly ripe. They also have the finest imported cold-cut meat plates you could imagine. Vegetarians should try the marinated grilled vegetables. Sushi is prepared fresh right before your eyes, and the very friendly staff even ask if they can prepare something especially for you. Kein Sushi, ich finde das nur. Auch nicht hier sowas mit Tuna oder Lachs oder? Nee. Ja. You make the rice first thing, it sits in the way. That's beautiful. For real. I just know because I do it. Ja, nimm. Was hat er gesagt als erstes? Keine Ahnung. Ja. Aber we enjoyed all the ripe fruits and berries as a good side to the upcoming proteins and seafood. These are beautiful presented deviled eggs with bacon dust and chives. Bacon dust, doesn't that sound great? Capri salad consists of mozzarella, tomatoes, balsamic reduction and evu. Pasta salad consists of rotel pasta and root vegetables, not my personal favorite. I definitely prefer the classic salad bar. Next will be Anthony's hot station with some interesting dishes. Here's the green grilled asparagus, looks very tempting, and here is the potato en gratin with a lot of cheese. Here are the gnocchis, also with cheese. But again folks, I can only warn you to not trap into these carb traps, as I call them, like these Chinese fried rice here. This is something you can eat at your $15 Chinese buffet right next door. But that certainly doesn't apply to this fantastic chicken katsu. I loved the breading and the chicken was flavorful and very tender. So guys, we are going to chapter 3 and it's slowly getting interesting and even better, I promise. To make a long story short, the meat is fantastic and on par with the highest steakhouse standards. I actually eat lamb quite rarely, but I'll make an exception for this beautiful rags of lamb.
fine. How are you today?
I'm good. How many pieces would you like?
One?
One?
Just one. Thank you.
Kind of go heavy on cut.
Total Verschwendung. Beef Wellington, something you would never normally find in a classic buffet, and an absolute highlight, as is the lobster, which I will show you very soon.
Peace?
One could argue that the beef Wellington alone is worth the $99 for the brunch, because that's what you pay for in many steakhouses these days. So that's my first main heavy meat plate. It contains a rack of lamb, there is juicy prime rib, and of course the star of the show, the beef Wellington. As a side we have the 3 strawberries, some berries as you know us, and a little bit salad. The perfectly roasted lamb was simply super juicy medium. It was so good I would call it an out-of-body experience. I mean, look at the pink inside, what a play of colors.
Yes.
The tree of bagels. The bagel tree.
Blossoms.
Yo. Now it's time to go into some heavy seafood. Are you ready? This Scottish salmon is one of the best on the planet, no doubt about it. But that's not why we're here.
Now the onions. Ein bisschen von dem weißen Butterzeug oder was das da ist.
The mountain of seafood was a feast for the eyes. First were the ever popular crab legs, but definitely not for me on that day. No question, there were definitely more important things to eat. Next to them were the biggest jumbo shrimp I've ever seen. I had at least a pound of them, they were so amazing.
Jumbo shrimp are amazing. In the butter.
Can I get you two more?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Would you like any butter?
Yeah, of
On the
course.
side?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
important.
Set it right on the plate for you. Ooh, is there room?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go right there. There you
Yeah,
are.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have of course eaten lobster tails before in my life, and I must say that there are indeed big differences on how much the size of the lobster matters. And frankly, I never would have thought that the differences would be so enormous. And putting the lobster in the warm butter is just so much better.
In warm butter.
If I can give you one advice, folks, focus on the really good things like the beef Wellington, the lamb, and of course the lobster, as well as the rest of the fantastic seafood. By the way, that was my second plate with heavy seafood, and in the end I can proudly say that I had 8 lobster tails and a good pound of jumbo shrimps.
Ja.
Lachs noch ein bisschen?
These little parfait cocktails, as I would call them, are just the right size. The queen had little room for dessert. She had her usual 3 strawberries in combination with other berries, French toast and 2 Danish pastries that were better than expected. Bread pudding, the godmother of all desserts, can't be missing. It's interesting to try bread pudding at a fine dining level. There's hardly anything better than pouring warm vanilla sauce over bread pudding. I love the idea of these cake pop trees. They have so much love to the detail here. Look at the little cheesecakes with jam and raspberries. The presentation really reminds me a lot of the Sterling Brunch at Bally's. This creme brulee just looks fantastic.
Okay, ich nehme definitiv sowas hier.
Ja.
Und definitiv sowas hier.
Ja.
Und natürlich nehme ich auch definitiv sowas hier.
Ja.
Although she was so full that her stomach hurt, the queen still managed to create another great iconic dessert plate. This was my favorite dessert plate, starting with this pineapple cake, yogurt with berries, the raspberry cheesecake, of course bread pudding with warm vanilla sauce, another small cake topped with marzipan, and a piece of chocolate mousse cake. The real Sterling Brunch is sadly history, but Anthony's Steakhouse at the M Resort is in my opinion the best alternative for 2026 and beyond. And the $99 in my opinion are far better spent than Caesar's Bacchanal Buffet, which also now costs over $90 in the evening. To be honest, anyone who doesn't have an obsession with lobster, or at least for beef Wellington, should save their $99 and go to a good other buffet. The atmosphere was stylish and unique, and also there were many people there. It didn't feel like feeding the masses. And that's why I give the Anthony Sunday Brunch a fantastic 9.4 out of 10. The only thing that was missing for me personally to bring it to a 10 would have been a filet mignon. My foodies, this German accent is real and not AI generated. Just like the footage, all filmed by myself. Unlike many other Vegas AI videos these days. Putting all of that together takes a lot of work. So if you want to show me some love, just send me a super thanks in the comments. Until the next food massacre.